Hi guys, welcome back to Dev Astrology. Today we are going to be starting with the Rahu Ketu transit, which is happening on 29th of May. Yes, 18th of May is what you see everywhere, but that is not the true transit. The true transit will happen on 29th of May, and it's going to be in place till December 5th, 2026, where Rahu is going to be moving into the sign of Aquarius, while Ketu will be transiting into the sign of Leo. And in this video today, we are going to be talking about the Pisces sign. You can watch this video both from a Pisces rising as well as Pisces moon stand perspective. All right, now guys, without further ado, I'm going to be sharing my screen. I'm going to be showing you as to what would be the placement of these two shadow planets, what would be their aspects, and what can you anticipate in the next 18 months to follow in your life. Let's dive in. Now, guys, as you can see, for Pisces, both rising as well as from a moon sign perspective, if you're watching this, Rahu is going to be coming into your 12th house in the sign of Aquarius, whilst Ketu is going to be transiting into the sign of Leo. Now, Rahu has been in your ascendant for a long time. In your first house, if you are watching from a Rashi perspective, and Ketu has been there in the 7th. 1-7 axis, I must tell you one thing, folks, that there should have been something important, spectacular from a career perspective, relationships perspective, health wise, job, business perspective. Any kind of a major event should have touched your lives in the last 18 months. And more often than not, when Rahu is coming into the ascendant, it tends to bring a grandeur into your life. It tends to magnify things in terms of your emotions, your ambitions, your desires. When Rahu is in the first, it is going to bring a lot of confusion to your mind as well, but at the same time, it makes you want more. Ketu, on the other side, brings some level of satisfaction, maturity, liberation when it comes to all seventh house affairs. And that is why I say 1-7 axis or 4-10 axis, any of these Kendra houses, when they are getting triggered in the transit, it becomes a very important transit for those planets. And I'm confident for many of you Pisces, you would have seen some of those events triggered during this phase. They could have been negative events. You could have, seen a very abysmal divorce. You could have got married for that matter. You would have seen separation of some sort in your relationships. You would have made a terrific job switch. And, job switches are possible for anyone, but during this 18-month phase, you could have seen a very substantial increase in your career. Some sort of a pivot could have come through. And that is not true for everyone in the previous transit, but for Pisces, it seems evident that this would have happened. And yet, in this transit again, you will be surprised, Pisces, versus whatever you've watched across the entire YouTube, that things can be extremely transformative and positive for you as well in this transit too. Not many people are talking about positives here, and I'm going to touch upon the positive aspects because my objective is for you to shape your thinking in such a way that you are able to bang, you are able to put your effort in the right direction and then see the outcomes come in. First and foremost, you have to understand that Rahu is coming in the sign of Aquarius. This means that he is going to become all the more powerful in this axis of 6 and 12. For those of you who follow my channel, you know that I prefer the flip axis of Rahu being in 6th, while Ketu being in 12th, because that is what is more important. By the way, guys, if you have not had a chance, go ahead and check out my Rahu in all houses, Ketu in all houses video, planets in all houses. That's a terrific series. You are going to learn a lot from that series as well. And I'm going to derive some connotations from that series itself and help you understand as to what can be anticipated here. So you all know that I prefer Rahu in 6th and Ketu in 12th, but it is not an abysmally bad situation to have Rahu in 12th and Ketu in 6th. Because when Rahu is in 12th, many of you would have noted I called out a point that it is a trigger for a person to move abroad post-marriage, especially if the things are seen from your natal chart perspective. And that is why you will have to realize here that with Rahu being present in the 12th house in Aquarius sign, he becomes extremely powerful because he has the ability to bring in full strength outcomes of what he is known for. What is Rahu known for? Rahu is an outcast. Rahu is a foreigner. Rahu is an illusionist. Rahu believes in discovery. So when he comes to the 12th house, that is almost as if coming home. And for you guys, Pisces, when Rahu is coming into the 12th house, he is going to bringing in a lot of expansion. He is going to bring in spread, opening up of wings. That is how you will have to perceive this movement of Rahu. First and foremost, understand that Rahu prefers this almost an exalted position of himself. He likes houses like Gemini, Virgo, but Aquarius is one of his most preferred positions, and that is why he is known to be exalting or even, co-owner of this particular house itself. The way Ketu is being seen as the co-owner for the sign of Scorpio, though he loves to be in the sign of Sagittarius as well, or even Pisces for that matter. See, Jupiterian houses he likes, or he loves, the Scorpio sign itself. So in a way, what's happening is your ninth lord has come to the sixth. And the co-lord of your 12th house of the Aquarius sign itself is being placed in the same house. Now, first and foremost, if we focus our attention towards what this Rahu is going to be doing, you have to understand here that Rahu is going to bring specifically positive results for people who are associated into 12th house affairs. What do you mean by that? It means that Rahu is going to be playing a prominent impact in your life if you are already associated with international affairs, or if you want to see any kind of a connection, any sort of a movement coming into your life from international collaboration perspective. This means if you're looking for a job opportunity, if you're looking for a career shift, if you're looking for a buying a home, remember I told you 3 and 6. Gemini and Virgo should also be seen, and the strength of Mercury in your chart should also be seen with this transit. And you will realize that the possibility of you buying a home in a foreign country, the possibility of you expanding your business relationship, your job prospects, your career prospects in a foreign country are going to grow multifold. If you're already living in a place which is far away from your birthland, and when I say foreign country, guys, you have to understand, I always mean it in a multi-dimensional, multicultural environment. Somebody who's born in London and is living in Paris is living in a culturally different place and yes, in a different country. However, somebody who's born, let's say, in Shanghai and is living in Beijing or in Hong Kong for that matter, they are also living in a culturally different place, even though they are residing within the same country. Or if you are in US, you are born in San Francisco, but living in the East Coast in New York, you are in a culturally different place altogether, even though you are within the same country. And that is what I mean when I say Rahu is going to flourish with that foreign connection. So if you are a Californian person and if you're living in New York, you are going to do well. This Rahu transit is going to be extremely positive for you. You are going to get the opportunity to rise and shine in your career. You are going to get the ability to rise and shine with respect to making a big purchase when it comes to property. The other bit is people who've been attempting to find the right opportunity abroad. Pursue an opportunity in your career where you can shape your career with a foreign connection. You are going to see success with that as well. People who are associated in import and export related businesses, where you have to deal with foreign currencies. So if you are in foreign exchange department of a bank, or if you are dealing with, cryptocurrencies of sorts, any kind of digital media association, any kind of AI related technologies, high tech work, say cybersecurity, but in a multi-country environment, in a multi-national corporation for that matter, you folks are going to see stupendous success with this Rahu's transit, because Rahu in Aquarius is going to empower all of us. He's going to empower. He is going to become powerful. He is going to become hungry. And it is not that when Rahu is powerful, it is delivering negative results. No. You have to understand where is it getting positioned in your transit chart. And guys, remember, you have to always go back to your natal. If some of you do not have the ability, or you're still learning to figure out as to how to connect the natal placements and, on top of it, put the transitory impact to your life, feel free to reach out to me on my Instagram DM or on my email as well. And I keep flashing that through the course of the video. But you are going to get some sense based on it as to how you can be shaping next 18 months. Then you have to understand this Rahu is also going to give success to people who are associated in medical industry, people who are associated in hospitals, multi-speciality hospitals, hospitals which are operating as multi-country entities, large hospital chains. If you are associated with any kind of a company that has with cybersecurity, that has to do with high-tech technologies, that have to do something with respect to illusion. What do I mean by illusion? It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be working with a magician for that matter. Yes, that is very much a profession that you can succeed in. But the point I'm trying to make is, what if you are associated into acting? You have to take a craft where you have to position yourself in a different way. But it has to be in a different region. It has to be in a different language. If your mother tongue is in English, maybe you need to go to a different place or figure out in a different language, in a different culture where you might succeed in that industry. Those are the kind of things that are going to come into play with this transit of Rahu. Rahu is also going to bring your expenses. It's going to balloon up your expenses for the next few months. And that is where I would want you to draw only one caution: medical, health. That can be one difficult trigger, Pisces, that can bother you, and you will have to work hard towards taking all the due precautions during this transitory period to ensure that your expenses are not going in that direction. That is a loss-making transaction for you. However, purchase of house, purchase of property, purchase of any kind of assets, they are not a loss-making assets, or loss-making investments or expenses for that matter. Not necessarily in most cases. So you have to understand that health is one caveat, because Ketu is also coming into sixth, and we will talk about that in a bit. But your 6-12 axis is getting, activated, which means health could be one area of concern for you folks. But on the other side, what you will find is that if there is an expansion of expenses coming in, most probably with respect to luxury, most probably with respect to materialism in your life, it also means that somewhere or the other you will find mechanisms to derive gains. And you see, your 12th lord is in ascendant in transit right now, and so is your 11th lord, which is Saturn. He's sitting in ascendant. So yes, you will be very much driven for your gains. You will be very much driven for your success, for your income. And Rahu's expense mindset is just going to ensure that whatever you are spending for a grandeur. Now understand what is going to be happening with respect to an aspect standpoint here. Rahu is going to give an aspect to your 4th house, 6th house and 8th house. The 4th house aspect is definitely giving an indication that property, assets, investments are going to be of key importance. But at the same time, you are going to lead towards being, playing tricks of some sorts. Either you will try to be street smart, or you will find situations where people could act extremely smart against you and put you in situations that could be loss-making situations for yourself. So you will have to be extremely clever, and you have to see, again guys, check the strength of your natal Rahu in your chart to understand what is going to be panning out. The other bit is, there is going to be a heightened degree of emotions coming in your life. You are going to work with a lot of passion. You are going to put a lot of emotions into your efforts. And that will be very evident no matter what you'll be doing. The third bit is that your mindset would be driven towards expansion. You are not going to be happy with small stuff. You're not going to be happy with smaller assets. If you have a car, you want a bigger one. If you have a house, you got an apartment, you want a bigger house. You want a mansion, you want a single family home. You want to invest in stocks, you want to invest big in stocks. You want to go blue chip. You want to go, risky with a Bitcoin or a Dogecoin or whatever you guys are into these days. You see, I'm a Saturn guy. I've aligned myself with Saturn, so I don't go with speculation anymore. But for those of you who are interested with it, I'm pretty sure that you are going to be playing big games in your life when it comes to investments as well. This also means that it is going to push you extremely hard towards pursuing knowledge that comes through international media, through international colleges, education of some sort related to international education, international business for that matter. Which means many of you will be pursuing your graduation, post graduation in a foreign land. It's going to be very evident, Pisces. You are also going to be focused in terms of expanding your knowledge through unconventional means. And there is nothing stopping you from doing that. Then this Rahu is going to bring in some triggers with respect to your enemies. And I think for most of the situations, Pisces, you are going to take a stand where you would want to just, elude your enemies. You would just want to leave them behind. You would not want to entertain them much. Even if you have Rahu in your natal in your sixth, because of this transit, you will think that being shrewd, being smart, being street smart is avoiding a conflict perhaps during these 18 months. That is the kind of approach. No matter, even if you have sun in your natal in your sixth house, Pisces, you are going to be extremely clever in terms of dealing with those kind of situations. I'll talk about more when we touch upon Ketu there. But Rahu is going to bring a risk of somewhere giving you a medical trouble if you are not keeping a check of yourself. So please maintain sanity. Please maintain cleanliness. Please maintain mental sanity as well. Emotions, as I was talking about a few minutes back, it is going to be extremely important that you keep a check of yourself from all those perspectives. Then this Rahu is going to bring in interest. Many of you, I have so many Western followers watching my channel. Many of you might get inclined to learn more about Vedic. So many of you keep on reaching out to me. Dev, why do you don't run a course? And why don't you teach people around it? Well, I'm pretty busy with my work on the other side of things, but hopefully in the second half of the year, I might. I'm contemplating on that aspect. Thanks to all the push that you guys have been providing. But you see that aspect of Rahu into the 8th, that turned into the sign of Libra. Hidden activities with respect to your business, collaboration with people in an unknown setup, deep collaborations is what you are going to build. And you are not going to talk about that in the market, but it is going to be creating an impact with respect to your money generation. You are going to be doing that during this transit. Think positively what you can do, guys. Don't be worried about the 12th house presence in terms of expenses getting expanded. You will be able to tackle that. Rahu is not going to put you in a precarious situation as long as you keep a regular regimen in place for your health, for your daily schedule, for your, life. Why? Because bang opposite to it is sitting is Ketu, which is like Mars, a co-owner of Scorpio sign, like a co-owner of your 9th house. Whilst in a way, Rahu is the co-owner of your 12th house itself. So the 12th lord is coming to the 12th house. Not bad. On this other side of things, you have Ketu sitting in the 6th house, which is first and foremost going to take you in a mindset that you will start ignoring your enemies. Now, the word of caution or the suggestion that I have for you is that when obstacles come, do not ignore your obstacles, but focus on the process, the element that you need to take to overcome those obstacles. And you will see what a fabulous Shatruganta Yoga will be created with this Ketu itself. Say you are in a job, you are facing some issues at your work front. Say you are preparing for a competitive examinations. Remember, 6,000 denotes that as well. You are a student watching this video, and your Lord of Luck is sitting 10 places away into the 6th house. The co-Lord of Luck is sitting there. And all he is projecting at this point in time is that as long as you're following the process, I think I try to give the crux of Gita every time I talk about Ketu. And guys, it's not that I just, throw it out to you folks. I practice that in my own life. So I mean every word when I say it. I try to inculcate those habits in me. And thereby I'm telling you that when Ketu is coming into this position, it will be a good idea for you to align your energies on that daily rhythm. Forget about the outcome. Forget about what happens if you have to put a schedule for your studies, if you have to put a schedule for your work, or if you have to find a rhythm on your day-to-day activities. If need be, work like an alarm clock. Wake up at 5, do your chores by 6, In the next 3 hours, you're ready for your office, your work, your career, whatever you're doing it, hitting the gym, doing like a machine, keep on repeating that end to end for 16 hours a day and then hit for 8 hours of sleep. And that is exactly what this Ketu is going to anticipate. It's going to expect from you. When problems come, you have to face those problems by focusing on the solution. So if you are preparing for that competitive examination, focus on what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and how are you going to crack that competitive exam. If you are at work, understand what are the areas that need priority focus from your end and just attack those problems. You need to finish a deadline, a presentation within given a deadline, go ahead and crack it. Deprioritize the other 2, 3 things that you have to do, communicate around it, and make sure that you are working towards what is required from you. But if you continue to do that, guys, if you continue to maintain a rhythm in terms of taking that long walk post dinner, getting on that jog every morning, or hitting the gym for 30 minutes maybe every day, this Ketu is going to be extremely happy because he knows that you have liberated yourself. You've liberated yourself from the expectation of the outcome and you are just mugn. You are just involved, drenched with that sanity of doing the process as it is required. Guys, that is the success mantra that you have to follow with this movement of Ketu into the sign of Leo. It is coming into a fiery sign. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be fire and knife. But this Ketu is going to be giving an aspect to your second house, 12th house, and your 10th house. Ketu's aspect into the 10th house is going to ensure that as long as you are focused towards your karma, as long as you are driven towards the journey itself and not the destination, Ketu will ensure success. Ketu will ensure heights to you. Remember, Ketu is coming into the sign of Leo. Only a person who has Ketu with Sun will be able to understand what I'm trying to tell you. In a way, you are already forming a Kirti Yoga with Ketu coming in that sign. I understand, guys, before you jump into conclusion that it is formed with Ketu in conjunction with Sun. But I'm trying to give you a metaphorical analysis of how this Ketu is going to behave within the sign. And yes, I've promised that I will talk about planets in all signs. So I will be doing that series as well in June. So you will get to understand from that perspective too. But at the same time, you have to understand here that when Ketu is coming to the sign of Leo, that fiery energy towards your 6th house aspect is going to be crucial. Health, I will keep on repeating, is going to be important. So Ketu's aspect into the 10th is going to push you to get your outcomes by focusing on the karma. The moment you are distracted with, oh my gosh, I'm about to lose a job, it's okay. There is a risk that with Ketu coming into 6th and the aspect going to 10th, many of you might have to make a switch in your job. Many of you might have to make there could be an unexpected closure of some aspect of your career during this point in time. But that is fine. As long as you let that sink in, as long as you understand what is up at stake, you will be able to bounce back. Have that realization that your worth is more. Have that realization that it is just maybe an external condition for which you might have to make a job switch or you might have been laid off. Those kind of things can happen, Pisces, with Ketu coming into the 6th house. But as I was saying, Rahu is going to give an indication with a foreign connection to find a job, to find that new business opportunity. And Ketu is saying that no matter what, just be immersed in the process and you will be rewarded. And folks, there could be a tremendous transformation that can come in for you guys with the transit of this Ketu being the Lord of 9th into your 10th and giving an aspect to your 10th. Then he will be giving an aspect to the 12th house as well. Unknown problems will also come. And yes, there is a probability that you might get flummoxed, you might get overwhelmed with the challenges that are coming your way. But you have to maintain that cool. That thing most probably should be related to health in my mind. However, it could be some unexpected situations as well that you have least anticipated and that could bother you. Relationship with your father, relationship with your bosses, superiors could also be jittery for some time. But you will have to manage that with calmness. At the end of the day, this Ketu might end up certain connections. It might bring a break into your career. It might bring a break into your relationship with your bosses. But fear not. Even if that happens, that is happening for something good that you are not able to see, or you're not planning around it. So do not panic. Last but not the least, Ketu is going to be giving an aspect to your second house as well. And many of you could see diminishing of your savings. I was already talking about the expenses being in rise. And this is where you'll have to understand Ketu is giving an aspect to the Mars sign, in the sign of Aries. And not for everybody it is going to be detrimental. In fact, Mars will come in conjunction through the month of June with Ketu in the sixth house itself. And then he will be, making his transits coming into the sign of Scorpio. Things are going to improve. There will be some ups and downs that you will keep facing. And we will talk about that through the course of our monthly readings as well. But the point that could be of concern is that there will be a probability of diminishing savings. And that is why I will recommend you, whatever amount you want to save, open another bank account and draw, something out of your main account and just put it across there. That is going to be one of the best ways in which you do not see, or you do not get panic stricken with a decreasing dollar, rupee, euro account in your bank account. But as long as you guys are focused towards your health, as long as you are focused towards doing the right set of activities, following the expectation from your bosses, from your leaders, sticking to your principles, you will see that the Ketu's aspect is not negative from a saving standpoint as well. I've seen so many people with Ketu in the sixth or Ketu in the second forming Shapit Yoga with Saturn and yet being extremely rich. And that is only because they've been madly been in love or associated with whatever they are doing and howsoever they are doing. That is an important point, guys. So I hope amidst all the craziness, you get some level of sanity and understanding that this is going to be a period of growth. This is going to be a period of good career shifts coming into play. Endings and new beginnings are going to be a part of it. Health is going to be extremely important. Love and relationships are bound to flourish for you folks if you are able to keep some check on your own body, mind, and soul. Outcomes will be coming in your way if you are focused on the process, Pisces. I'm looking forward to this exciting time. If you have any thoughts, comments, please, put them in your messages. I would love to answer them, read them, get back to you. Thank you for watching this video. If you've loved it, please smash on that like button, subscribe to Astrology, put your comments in the comment box, and keep watching.